So we finally made it. Finally, after all the prepping, we get to color this model. There are a lot that I'll be covering here, talking about many of the features Matplus offers, so I hope you're ready. Many tools I'll be using are pretty standard when it comes to texturing methods, so if there are areas that I didn't really showcase or talk about and you're curious, please do check out BFX's YouTube channel with their Matplus videos. They'll go far deeper with what Matplus is capable of, so yeah, with that being said, let's begin. Alright, so before I start texturing this guy, let me just give you guys a quick rundown of the tools that I'll be using, and all these right here are basically the ones that I'll be using a lot. So let's just kind of start from left to right and talk about them quickly, okay? So this right here is the paintbrush. So as you can see, once you click on it, it'll give you the resolution of the size, and I'm just going to press OK with 512 because, just want to keep it quick for demo's sake. So, as you might expect, this is where you could just kind of paint over the model to give that hand paintery look, right? And if you don't want the symmetry turned on, then here's the symmetry right here. And at the moment I'm painting the hydraulics and I can't paint the body. That is because to switch over, I have the body selected, but I have the other 4 UDIM textures, right? So to switch over to the body, let's say, I'm gonna hover over the body and press Alt Q, and then you saw that little flash that will allow me to paint over the model, the other parts, okay? And you could always kind of change the color, do this color setting right here, and then start painting it like that. So yeah, like I would assume like this will be good for people who likes that hand paintery look to it. And of course, like you could change these brushes through here, and also like you could go to the brushes and change the brush through the alpha and choose brush settings, and this will give you these different types of brush that you might be able to use. And again, to see all these icons or these brushes or even the materials, you guys have to go to preference, and under Matplus, you got to allocate the folders that Matplus kind of provides, with like ambient CG being where the ambient CG materials will be. So the mask has to be where the mask, the brush and icon. So yeah, it's just kind of up to you on how you allocate them, but this is very important to be able to see these. Yeah, that is what the paint layer or paint effect is. So that's that. Let's move on. The fill, the paint bucket fill. So this is how you would imagine it to be too. It just pretty much fills the entire object, right? And yeah, again, you could just choose the color to kind of set it whatever you want. And on top of that, let's just kind of talk about some of the layer settings right here. So if I could click on metal, you could just kind of bump up the metal to make things a little more metallic look, and roughness is to kind of get that glossier look, right? And yeah, normal and displacement I don't use a lot, but height I will use and I'll talk about later, so let's revisit that later. And okay, so that's that. And this next one, smart material. Actually, before I talk about smart material, let's talk about this guy right here, right next to material, okay? So this guy right here is kind of like this base material for, like, let's say asphalt, brick, concrete, fabric, whatever, right? So let's choose something like this really crazy fabric. So yeah, this is something that Matplus again provides. It kind of gives you all these crazy amount of kind of like a base starting point for the materials, right? Leather, ground, whatever it may be. And from there, what you can do is, let's say for instance this fabric lining is a little too large, right? So to change it, you go to this the layer setting, and you could go to the coordinate and kind of bump up the scale to play around with the scale to make it look a little more uniform. And as you can see, let's say the size of this fabric for the hip is a lot more tinier than the body, because the body is taking a lot more UV space because of the size of the flip faces. So to change that, you could always go to, instead of UV, you could change that to the object triplanar, and then that should make things a little more uniform, right? So you could see, kind of using a box, like project the UVs. So yeah, you could always kind of play around with that too, right? So yeah, that is the material. And kind of going back to the smart materials, so this is basically like a cracked out version of like the three that I showed you. So it's kind of like mix and matching these tools and creating a material that's like very realistic. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to click on this and give it a second, and let's choose something like, I don't know, bronze armor right here. All right, so give it a second. So these materials are a lot more heavier, so they might take a little longer for it to load, yeah, there you have it. So we have this bronze-like material, and as you can see, I'll give you this folder with all these little elements of effects, right? So just kind of flipping through some of the what is going on. So if I were to turn this off edge, so that kind of gives, if I were to zoom in, that little edge wear, which is kind of nice. And all these tools are basically a combo of, so for instance, this one is a fill, right? This fill layer, so you could change the color of the fill to whatever you want. Let's say if I want to make this like white or something. Okay, and on top of that, you know, again, like the metallic and the roughness is turned on, so you can make it less metallic-y or more shinier with the roughness. And yeah, so it is a fill layer, and you can kind of see what the detail is doing. So detail is basically this kind of like this brushed look on the metal surface. And this guy right here is the an effect. So again, layer effect, but then now only roughness and height, and you could change the heightness, right? So like at the moment it's kind of going down because there's 0.1, but then you kind of go up instead. You know, you could go down to make it a little more bumpier, or go up to make it kind of the bump to come up. All right, so anyways, yeah, so you could see that there's all these effects that kind of makes this a more realistic look. And again, you could kind of go through them and make your own materials. Yeah, I feel like most of the time, like I'm gonna be using smart material because I'm not really a really great texture artist, so I'm gonna rely heavily on the smart materials. And yeah, like let's say the two other thing, the folder. So this is group, you know, as you can expect, you could put the folders, you know, if you're, you know, for to make things a little more organized. And to do so, you click on this little icon, add to group, and then just kind of throw it into the folder. Okay, so that's that. So, but I don't need it, so I'm just gonna delete everything. And then obviously trash can is trash can. So yeah, those are the tools to pretty much add in the materials to your model and to give a little more depth to your materials. This is where these two icons come in. Okay, so these are the masks, and from the mask I will use the black mask and the vertex color a lot. So to show you guys an example, I'm gonna add a fill in this, right? And let's choose some random color. Okay, and I'm gonna choose the add mask vertex color, right? So that seems like it didn't do anything, but then it gave me the setting to pick a vertex color. Okay, so I'm gonna choose a color, and as you can see, this is where the ID mask kind of comes in handy, right? So I'm gonna choose something like right here, and boom, it will choose the area where I want the color to be, this orange color. So to deal with the mask, this is where the mask is, and to go back to the color, you want to choose this material icon. And then you could kind of play around to kind of choose what material you want to add, right? So yeah, I mean, you could do this with the fill, you could do the smart material and the material too. So really powerful stuff right here. Okay. And then this icon right here, adding effects. Let's add another fill to this, and I'm gonna add a black mask. Okay, first. All right. So to use this guy is another crazy feature. So let's say if I want to add add a mask generator, this will give me the setting, assign the mask. So let's choose something like, I don't know, hexagon. And then obviously the hexagon's a little too big, so I'm gonna just kind of play around with the scale. And then let's say that okay, I want to change the color of this to maybe like something dark. And then on top of that, like maybe I could add in the height and just kind of bring it down. So it just kind of gives you all these like, you know, really cool effects, right? Hexagon. If I don't want to do the hexagon, you could just make it more noisier maybe. But obviously you got to change the coordinates or the scale. So there you go. But still kind of keeps this, what you call it, the material. Okay, I'll change the color to make things a little more obvious. Just play around with it. But yeah, so that is the mask generator and the intelligent mask. This is something that I use a lot too. So assign intelligent mask and maybe something like edgeware. Alright, so this kind of focuses just on the edge, so it kind of gives that nice, you know, like a worn out edge look. And again, you could always kind of play around with how much of a damage you want. And to change the color, you got to go to the material and you know, just kind of play around with the color. And then in this case, you see that height, it's kind of going down, which kind of works fine. I want to add metal and then the roughness, so the metal to make things metal and that's exposed inside, and then the roughness to kind of bring it down to get that the shine. So yeah, you know, these are some of the features that I like using. And you know, again, like some of these features, some of the other features, they are powerful stuff, but like I said, like, you know, I think this is the bare bone, the shallow surface of what I'll be using to paint this guy up. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, let us begin with the texturing. So let's get rid of these guys, and I'm gonna go to the smart material, and let's choose let's see where I want to go with this. Metal. Let's check metal. Okay. So you could also, what you can do is just type in right here, metal. And then see from there, kind of like isolates all the metal choices. So let's try something like metal 2. Alright, so yeah, that's really cool. I like how that looks, but I'm kind of imagining the body to look kind of like a lighter color, and then maybe the kind of like a darker secondary color. So let's see, let's go to the base and change up the color. So I'm going to drop the saturation, bring it up. Okay, I see. So there's these speckles, which comes from, let's see, oh, so it looks like it's this guy right here. So let's see what the color is. So yeah, it's using the same kind of bluish color. So we just kind of bring it up and then drop the saturation as well. Cool, yeah, that kind of works. And at the same time, let's see, maybe I could bring up the metallic metalness of this just a tad more. Oh, I guess it's up, so probably on the base I could just bring up the metallic, so like that. Maybe this VAR I could add some metalness too. So as you can see, that's how I'm kind of treating it, right? I'm kind of going into each of these material and kind of changing it up. And something like these like little speckles, I'm pretty sure it's the dirt. So I think like I want it to be a little dirty, but then like not too dirty as well. So like just kind of like, yeah, I don't think I need this. So you could, you know, don't be afraid to kind of like delete it. Or what you can do is adjust it according to this, right? So adjust the dirt and kind of like bring down the balance to just kind of chill it down a bit. So that's another option. And also I kind of noticed like this fingerprint, so I believe it's this finger right here. Let's see, the scale should be relatively the same size as a human, and that thumb looks kind of big. So again, kind of open this folder, check the fill effect, and this is where you could see the coordinate or the setting. I think, let's see how yes, balance kind of bumps up the contrast, or the contrast too. But then what you want to do is mess with the coordinates, right? So I could just kind of bring it up. So I believe something like oops, what happened? Something like 5 might be good, right? Yeah. So okay, that's that. And then what I can also do is I could just duplicate this as well for the secondary color. So what I could do is go right here, duplicate group. All right, so just give that a second. So we got this, and maybe we could call this the main. So main body, and then this could be the secondary, or maybe like dark metal, because I do like this treatment. Metal. Okay, so we're gonna open this again and then change the base color to more darker, right? Oh, before I do that, well, actually, whatever, I'll darken this a bit, and this speckle too right here, just darken that. Okay, something like that. There's these scratches too, actually, now that I noticed. But okay, so now what I want to do is add a vertex mask or vertex color, and then assign the the pick vertex color to the secondary dark blue right here. All right, so give that a second. Yeah, there you go. So we got this dark metal, and you can kind of see like sometimes there's this little fuzziness. You can kind of adjust that by adjusting this value right here, so that kind of brings up the amount that the vertex color covers. But just kind of be careful, it's gonna take over some of these other areas, right? You know, it's like some takes over some of the similar colors, so this darker value of blue becomes kind of similar to this darker purple too, so just kind of be careful. But it's fine because I'm gonna put a color over this, so you know, it should be fine. So I'm just gonna kind of bring it down a bit. So something around here is good, and I think that AO covers does a good job covering it anyways. So yeah, don't matter. Okay, so something like this should be good. So cool. And obviously, like again, this add-on is fairly new, so could be a lot of buggy. So make sure to save occasionally. All right, let's see what I can do. Let's try adding in another metal color or something. So let's try going into, we got the dark metal, we got like the main body. Let's see something else. All right, maybe add like the tertiary chrome-like color, okay? So let's see, let's go back to metal again. Let's see, metal rough, metal grinding, metal Voronoi, metal weapon. Let's see. Maybe something like metal rough might be good. So let's check it out. So click on that. Okay, give it a second. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do is, again, go into add vertex mask or vertex color, and then I'm gonna mask out the tertiary area. So I'm kind of imagining the tertiary to be, once it loads, this light blue. Okay, just give that a second again. Cool. All right, very subtle. So let me see if I can like bump up the chrome of this. So I'm gonna open the folder. All right, it is open. So like I'm guessing the base. Okay, so base metallic. Maybe I could bring the roughness, so you see how it becomes a little more kind of specular, right? So that might be cool. Very subtle, but then you can kind of see the material difference. Like this one's more matte metal versus this is more chromy metal. All right, so that's perfect. Okay, so that's that. Let's try kind of checking the organic side. Okay, so let's check out the organic because this puke green is kind of messing me up. So let's see if I could do something like organic-y. All right, so matter of fact, something like metal might look cool too, like a golden color of this. Let's see though. Let's try typing in. I believe there was something organic. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. So like this organic glass, organic. So this kind of looks very fleshy. Let's see how that might look. All right. So give that a second. So this smart material looks pretty hefty, so it might take a lot longer than the other smart materials to load. But you know, I might stop the video here and there, skip it, just so that I could avoid the load time. Okay, so I might do that. All right, so it took a bit for it to load, but a few things I might have to do is think of you know, plan to get rid of this high poly soon. The reason why I keep it just because I might want to rebake someplace, because while I'm texturing I might find some errors, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant of deleting it. But you know, just also wants to test like how far this could keep going like this, right? So yeah, there's that. But another way to kind of minimize the file, because if I were to look at the shader, you could see how many nodes are kind of like linked, and this is the reason why things are kind of getting chuggy. That's the organic. Check out the body. You know, like we already added so much things, so it's just train of like all these nodes, right? So you could kind of imagine why like I'm very hesitant of like, you know, just kind of going overboard with the materials. But yeah, and there's that. And again, you know, so by catching these button right here, this will minimize the size of the node or the shader, so it will things will load a lot faster. Okay, so just things to keep in mind. Okay, but as for the organic, let's see what's going on here, because this is a little too insane. This vein, I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so it's kind of giving like a weird effect. So some of these effects, like I'm not too sure, like I need to dissect it to see what is happening exactly. So this is the color it's giving. So you kind of adjust it, see what that does, and see what the mask is doing too, right? Currently using Matplus. Okay, so kind of play with it. But yeah, you kind of imagine what's happening. But let's see, I'm gonna Control C this. Let's hide this. Okay, so this is another layer. So basically doubling kind of this similar effect. Just hide this. This one is kind of giving that grainy look. So yeah, let's just kind of see what this is. It's still very bumpy. I'm not too sure if that's something I like. Maybe I could change the color a bit. So this is not really affecting it. So I believe this is what's affecting the color, right? But I believe this color ramp is where I could kind of play around with the color. Let's see, something like right here, maybe brighten it a bit. This bumpiness is a little too intense too, so I believe it's here. Okay, yeah, so that bumpiness right there might be a little too intense. So I could just keep that turned off. So yeah, it's kind of fleshy, but I'm not too sure if I want to go this fleshy route, because that means that I need to kind of imagine or think about like some like blood splatters or kind of like saliva everywhere, right? So I'm not too sure if I want to go this route actually, now that I think about it. So what I can do, so another idea I had, you know, this is something inspired by Death Stranding, but let's try this. This might look cool too, actually. So I'm gonna go to Smart Material and try this Dirt Gold. This might look really cool, actually. Yeah, so it's like this interesting metal organic look, kind of like the, what is it? I believe they call it the Chiral Crystal. Might be really cool. So that might be interesting. And again, you can kind of check which part you want to affect it. So by kind of playing around with this edge or dirt. Oops. But honestly, I think this looks pretty good. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it as is. So I don't want it to affect the leg. So I'm just gonna keep it just these two right here. So what I'm going to do is choose the mask, and instead of vertex color this time, I'm going to choose mesh island. Okay, so this mesh island basically chooses the object, right? Like, you know, whatever that's separated and it's not connected. So you kind of see it gives this solid color. So that makes things easier to select instead of relying on the vertex color. So there's that. And let's try going to the body and giving the same treatment too. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the smart material once again, and you see those organic area. I think it would be cool to add like a golden kind of touch there too. So let's go to the dirt gold. All right, so give that a second. And for this one though, I do have to use vertex color just because, you know, it's like one mesh, right? So I'm gonna go to mask, and then choose the vertex color right here. All right, and then go to pick vertex color and choose this pink right here, and give it a sec. Voila, yeah. So now it's got this nice goldenish color. Okay, so yeah, this looks pretty neat. And one other thing, let's see what I could do next. So eventually I do want to add stuff like emissives, right? Like these kind of little pockets. I want to add emissive. So let's try that. Okay, so I'm gonna add in a paint layer. Oh, actually, turn it off first. So to do that, to first add paint layer, what you need to do is, so you got to go to the setting and go to add channels, okay? Because we don't have emission active in this, and you could also do stuff like alpha or transparency as well. But for this, I want to use emission. Okay, so just turn on emission. So now we got the emission channel active, or yeah, we can use the emission channel now. So we're gonna go back to layer, go to this paint bucket and fill in the layer, and then instead of color, so as you can see, there is the emission right here. So we're not going to use color, but instead I want to use emission, right? So for this, let's see, I don't know what color. Maybe I'll do like a red, or red might be cool. Blue might be cool too. Or you could change whatever color you want. Okay, so let's keep it red, and what I'm going to do is add a black mask. Okay, I'm going to add a black mask so it hides, and then on top of the black mask, what I want to do is add a effect of paint effect. Okay, and then resolution 4K seems a little too high. I think 2K might be good enough. So press OK. So now I'm going to paint in those light. Okay, so I'm going to view this in the frontal view. Okay, so for the body, right? And make sure the symmetry is turned on, and I'm gonna choose the hard brush right here, okay? And I think the brush size is a little too big, so I'm gonna kind of scale it down, something like this maybe. Let's see how it looks. Oh, Alt Q to just make sure your body is selected. Oops, the symmetry is turned off now that I've chosen new body of the mesh. So turn on, and then yeah, you could kind of like draw in like right here. All right, so obviously this is too wobbly, so what I'm gonna do, that was a test stroke actually. So instead of just freehandedly drawing this, I'm gonna go to the paint mode right here, click on paint mode, and then again you could choose your brushes through here. Like, you know, you could choose your like type of brushes to kind of like manually add your custom stroke. But what I'm gonna do instead is go to brush and click on this guy right there. Okay, so this is kind of like shift tap for like Photoshop. So let's do like 22, see how that looks. Or no, click and drag and you'll see the line. So boom. Oops, what the? Oh, Alt Q. Okay, so I guess I didn't select this model again. Okay, so drag. Okay, so yeah, that's good. Maybe I could go a little smaller, something around here-ish. Okay, like that. Same here. Like that. Then right here too, the same. Okay, perfect. All right, so we got this red light in there. And then maybe on the back too, control 1, somewhere in the back. Might be nice to have, like right here. It's a little too big. So like this. Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, and on top of this, so later on I'll do some actual lighting treatment, but for now this is going to be okay, because we're still in the viewport, like in the actual cycles mode, like you'll see some glows and stuff. But what I want to also do is go into this material, right? And I'm gonna also add the height map to this, because I think it'll be cool if there's like a little dip that goes down. Oops, what the? So what I mean is, so with that selected, kind of just drag the height down. So you kind of see that it kind of dips in, right? So something like that might be good. So yeah, just a little bit of a light, and then if you don't like the red color, I could always kind of change it to like something green or bluish. Oh, blue looks nice too, actually, kind of more tinged. All right, cool. One last thing I want to do is just add something on for her pants, just because it's a little too harsh seeing this green. As you can see, I'm gonna treat the arm too, but I'm gonna leave that for the next chapter, because we're starting to get pretty long with this chapter. So for the next chapter, let's see, I'm gonna do metal rough. We're gonna focus a little more on the detailing with the texture. Okay, so we got this. Let's see, the roughness seems a little too crazy, so could probably dumb this down a bit. Let's see, fill effect. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the way I'm kind of approaching this is just kind of applying the smart material and just kind of flipping on and off what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and kind of going from there, right? As a matter of fact, I don't think I need the roughness, so I'm just going to delete it completely. AO spec, that's kind of nice. It's kind of cool how she's this chrome-like figure, which I might keep. I'm not too sure. Eventually, I want to bring back, remember the first mannequin, and bring this whole chrome look, right? And then like it just exposes the inside. So that's something that I'm kind of thinking as well. So maybe I might keep this AO spec or not. Maybe this AO is a little too much. Okay, but then this base color, I could kind of adjust the metalness if I want to bring the metalness. That kind of looks too plasticky, but yeah, I think a little bit of metal is nice, or not. We'll have to just kind of play around with it. Okay, something like that might be good. Roughness could kind of play around too. Okay, cool. So I think I'll just leave it at this. I'll save it for now, and then next up, let's focus on the arm and just a few more detailing. Okay, so cool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.